Go Pizza presents SCP. The Steve Dangle Podcast with your hosts, Steve Dangle and Adam.
Forget Stamkos, Kucherov, and Nemestikov. The best line in hockey. The best line in hockey is Andrei Vasilevskiy.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, you know what's funny? Yeah, I didn't put enough emphasis on how good he was in the LFR video. Like, I was so completely unbothered by that loss. The one thing about it that made me the most upset was they could have won. They were in it the whole time. It was two really dumb blunders. Mm-hmm. And even with those, any mortal goalie would have given up a goal or two in that game, but it was Andrei Vasilevskiy.
I got a tweet from somebody saying that I guess I've previously said that I wasn't sure Vasilevskiy was good enough. I just didn't know.
Heading into the season?
Yeah, I don't think there's nobody that could have known that. And it was Jesse did. Of course. Well, of course, Jesse did. Elliot Friedman even mentioned it, that some of his teammates told Elliot directly that they had no idea. They didn't know he was this good.
I don't think Andrei Vasilevskiy knew he was this good. Sergei Bobrovsky won the Vezina last year with a .931 save percentage. Vasilevskiy, 33 games into the season for him, is a .937. Like, he's almost a 9.4. According to NHL.com, he's a 9.4.
Apparently, they've changed it back, by the way.
Good.
It was an error.
Correct.
Because I got a message from somebody who I believe works for NHL.com who was like, hey, we've switched it back.
Stop ripping them every show.
Big Brother is always watching.
I'm sorry, folks who work there. Hey, I'm sure the people who work there put in good, hard work.
Absolutely they do.
But the setup's awful.
Apparently it was an error. It wasn't even meant to be rounded to that point anyway.
That's
what they said.
Fair enough. Mistakes happen. For example, the miscommunication between Freddie Anderson and Andreas Borgman on the first goal.
Man.
Or, for example, the Tampa Bay Lightning having an even strength power play on the second goal. There were 3 Leafs, 3 Lightning. In comes another Lightning. Where are the other Leafs? They're all gone. They should have been able to win that game. But I'm encouraged.
Okay, I was going to ask you about
the back half. I'm very excited for the back half.
Tell me why.
Well,
because they've looked, as I've said time and time again, fragile.
Yes, totally. But they got 5 more games now at home that they can build off of. They get to play a lot of really good teams. And notice that I say they get to play them. Like, I like that the standard is going to be raised in the back half. Their next game is against the Sharks. They got the Blues on this homestand. They got Tampa, I think, 4 more times this season. They got a lot of hard games. And I expect them to win a lot of them because I think they're at home more than they're away. And they get a lot of rest. They get a lot of rest. January is a little condensed. Go look at March. They're sleeping during March.
Well, that's good, though. Right before the playoffs, hopefully.
I agree.
They got to keep getting
wholeheartedly agree.
Keep winning.
Yeah, no, they get a couple crazy breaks in March. So when you're heading into the playoffs, you want to be healthy, which having all those days off helps you achieve that goal. And you also want to be playing the best hockey you can be. I think you play the best hockey you can be by playing the best teams you can be, and they get to do that in the second half. Plus the Sens a couple times.
Jesse?
Last year, the Leafs had the final playoff spot with 95 points.
Yes.
And they are on pace to get 96 points this year.
Great.
48 times 2.
Yeah.
Improvement. Great.
Yesterday...
Is that going to be enough?
No, but yesterday I thought the projection was like 98. God, yeah. Had they won yesterday, it would be like, what is it?
Yeah, well, it's 41, and they've...
Yeah, 40. So like I think like, I mean, whatever.
What do the Panthers have to... No. I keep getting too caught up on, look, the Leafs are going to make the playoffs because the rest of the Atlantic sucks. That's not good enough. Because then I was thinking, all right, what if the Leafs make the playoffs this year and they're one and done? They don't make it out of the first round. Who's satisfied with that?
Oh, I don't think anybody's satisfied with that.
I'd be satisfied with that.
No.
Would you?
Because they're still building. I think
they are.
I think we keep forgetting that.
I want one round, though.
Yeah, but
win a round.
That's a fan. You're thinking about that. Hey, they did it last year. They got into the playoffs. Now it's time to win.
Only 8 teams do that.
They should be able to beat the Bruins. They should be able to beat the Bruins, who are ahead of them right now. Mm-hmm. But like the Bruins outside of that top monster line and Rask, who's been really good. They've gotten some good goaltending this year. That's a young team. That's a young rebuilding team. Like Charlie McAvoy, a bunch of other ones.
Have you heard this?
Earlier in the year, they were playing with guys who I thought were rumors.
Have you heard this stat? Bergeron, Marchand, and David Pastrnak had not allowed a 5-on-5 goal all season until last night.
Holy shit.
Not one. Yeah, that's crazy.
And that's a line where you go, yeah, it's offensive firepower from start to finish. Guess what? Offense is a really good defense. The opposite is true, but they're both true. Mm-hmm. It's like a backpack full of weights. It's like a defense. It's like an offense full of defense.
So you think
that's actually literally what it is?
As Jesse said, 96 points. Do you think they surpassed 96? Because I feel like up until this point, they were on pace for more. And, had they won last night, it would have been 98. Had they beaten Colorado last week and won last night, or won the 2 games they should have won last week, I still think that they allowed Vegas to stomp them. There's no reason that they should. They played very poorly. If they'd won those games, or they'd taken 3 of 4 points, or something like that, you were looking at 100 points they're on pace for, right?
Yeah, but they didn't do any of those things.
They didn't do any of those things.
The 3 games in 4 nights, they got 3 out of 6 points. A win against Vegas would have given them 5 out of 6, losing overtime, 4 out of 6, whatever. Mm-hmm. You can do worse than 500. I would like them to do better. Did you see Babcock's morning press conference before the Lightning game?
No.
Either of you? No? Mm-mm. His best of the season. His best of the season. You immediately got a vibe. Like Babcock might as well have said, like he's running, he's panting, he's out of breath, heading into the thing, sweating. You'd swear he's a player who just got off the ice. I know he's a coach who just got off the ice, but he shouldn't be sweating like that. And he might as well have said, all right, yeah, well, we're not fucking around anymore. I think that's what Freddie Gauthier is, by the way. They're done fucking around. There was not nearly a big enough deal made of what he said.
I read some of those quotes.
He basically goes, he was talking about how much he likes Gauthier. And he was talking about, well, in the summer we had to do some things because Gauthier got hurt. Really? I could have swore Dominic Moore had a name, Mike. Dominic Moore, who didn't play in the Leafs' first game of the season. Like, Babcock was not a fan of that signing at all. And this isn't even the first Lou Lamoriello signing Babcock has very clearly not been a fan of. I mean, there's the Frank Corrado
right, of course.
signing, and granted, it's all been depth. But calling up Gauthier seemed like the beginning of, all right, we're done fucking around.
Why did it feel like that?
I don't know. I feel like because the back half really started with the Tampa game, even though after that was done, it was the back half. Because, all right, it's January now. We're done screwing around. This is the second half of the season. We are a playoff team. I expect you to be a playoff team. Fucking act like it. And I expect, if the Leafs look like crap, some things to happen. I don't know what those things are. And I also don't think they're going to play like that very often. They found another gear last year. I expect them to find it again this year.
Well, they have more wins and more points than they did at this point last year.
Yeah.
Which, they should have.
They've won a couple games in the shootout. That probably helped.
Yeah. That's actually true. Yeah. But you know what?
So does everyone.
So now
you're supposed to.
Now the question becomes, does the style of play that they're playing change? Because that very clearly doesn't fit the template of the players that they have. But it seems as though there was a lesson being taught over the course of the last 20 games. Yeah. This dump and chase stuff, the Corsi was low.
Awful.
So
shit to watch.
Terribly outshot, boring to watch. They're not an exciting team to watch right now. Or weren't.
That Tampa game was fantastic.
There was 5 minutes of amazing in there.
They still couldn't play defense.
Yeah, they could. They made 2 really bad blunders.
That's going to be enough, though. You can't do that.
I mean, the Borgman one was not that big of a blunder.
I was perfect, except for the twice that I wasn't.
I guess but I would say leading up to that point, that was fantastic hockey. Tampa was outchancing them. Yeah. It was fantastic hockey. I mean, we can also just admit that Tampa's better. You know,
So that's not much to admit there. They are better.
Yeah.
exactly. So
But any team in the NHL could say that.
yeah,
Except for Vegas.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Who've won 8 in a row at home.
insane. That's so insane.
No, overall, 8 in a row.
Oh, it's just 8 in a row.
They've won 8 in a row.
At home. Those are the
No,
only.
they've won 8 in a row.
Oh, just period. Oh.
Yeah.
But at home, I wouldn't be surprised. I'd be surprised if it was only 8. How many aren't they?
home, it's
Were they like
probably
15 and 2?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
insane.
think they have like 3 losses, like 2 regulation.
So what is it?
losses
Bare
all
minimum, you have to go on like a 6-game winning streak to have
so
something
stupid.
like that's
Okay,
insane.
here's how it goes. These playoffs, folks. Are you ready? Vegas gets home ice. Vegas never loses at home. Vegas wins the cup. Some rich jerk I bet like 10 grand on Vegas at the beginning of the season when they were 500 to 1 odds. And they're I can't math, but I imagine they're happy.
Well, I mean, it would be the most successful expansion franchise, I think, since Florida, right? The Panthers.
In history.
Now, here's hoping they don't have the same fate as Florida. I mean, they do have an arena in the right place and everything seems to fall into place and good fans and whatever. But like Florida, Stanley Cup Finals appearance, nothing.
None. And that wasn't even that year.
No.
Like this is the first.
Yeah, what do they have, 2 years? Did they have 2 years before?
Yeah, something
Were they
like
in
that.
92, 93 or something?
Something like that.
But
yeah.
even in 2 years, that's impressive.
Absolutely. But this is stupid.
Are we on Vegas? Do
you want to be on Vegas?
I have Vegas stats if you want Vegas stats.
Sure.
All right. The records set by the Vegas Golden Knights. There's a long list. Bear
Already?
with me. Bear
It's
with me.
January 3rd.
Longest point streak by a team at any point in inaugural season. They're at 13 straight games. They're 12-0-1. That's a current streak. It is active. Longest win streak by a team at any point in their inaugural season. 8 games. Recorded most
That's
wins
active.
in a calendar month by. They're all accurate.
No, active.
Oh yes, there's an accurate. I'm like,
We're fact checking you. Us. We
Is
are
that the
fact
case?
fastest team in NHL history to reach 25 wins in their first season. Fastest team to reach 50 points in their first season. Latest regulation game-winning goal in expansion era by team inaugural season at 59-57. That's a fun little stat. Fastest team in NHL history to reach 20 wins in their first season. First team in NHL history to win 10 of first 12 home games. Fastest team in NHL history to reach 15 wins at 22
All right, I'm
games.
asleep. Fucking.
You want more?
No.
There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 more NHL records that the Vegas set.
You know what's great? I'm really excited for the show even more so now because I'm like, where is Jesse getting all this? And it's in his friggin' show prep for Tim and Sid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got nifty Tim and Sid stats now. It's a lot of
That's
fun.
actually really helpful. He sent some stuff that I'm definitely going to refer to later, so
How
I'm
many
excited
emails you
about
get
it.
now?
Oh, a day?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Really?
I
bet it's a lot.
ridiculous. It's like north of 30.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I get close to 60 or 70 emails for BT every day. None of them involve me. But
See, these are just fancy stats, though.
oh yeah, that's cool.
Mine are fun.
Yeah, mine are like, please load into cart A, blah 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 blah. And then hey, we missed the queue on that, and it's like, oh my god, there's a lot of stuff here.
Send an email for that?
Oh yeah. Well, here's the thing: Rogers, in its infinite wisdom, when it bought the television studios at Dundas, decided to put several floors between you and the people in the control room, rather than putting the control room nearby. And sometimes that is the case, but there's also an elevator there that is constantly broken. So there's no point in coming up and talking about it. You have to email. You have to.
Oh.
It's just instant messenger.
All right, well, I guess that makes
the instant messenger with 70 people CC'd on it, though.
That doesn't make sense. Why isn't your control room right next to the studio?
That is a good question. And I would ask 3 administrations ago of Rogers Media why they decided to do that. I have no idea.
I have 2 questions. The first one is for both of you. The second one is for Jesse. I am always living in fear of being impolite. And so I respond thank you for everything.
I find that passive aggressive. Thank you.
Passive aggressive?
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
trying to
thank you.
express thanks. Oh my God, really? So should I stop? Because sometimes
it depends on the context.
Well, sometimes someone will post something of mine and I know more than one person worked on it, but I don't know who it was. So I'll email the whole Sportsnet web desk. Thanks, everyone.
That's fine.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but now 30 people or something are getting this email like, I don't give a shit.
But if you're like emailing somebody and going, please get me a coffee, thank you.
No! Oh my God.
That would be bad.
You send emails for coffees at BT?
I'm not a BT, but I've seen them before.
That's weird.
They send snaps into a megaphone. They just go like that. Get the...
No, they don't do that.
they have a bell at their table. Have you ever seen the episode of Curb?
Large tea, milk, double sugar. Got it.
Do you watch Curb? Your Enthusiasm?
I have seen some.
Where Larry David builds the restaurant and that everybody has bells at their desk, at their table? No. Oh, my God.
That's terrible.
That sounds perfect. The second question, sorry, that was for Jesse. How were your first 2 days, sir?
Oh, my God. It's amazing.
Is it fun?
Fun thing that happened today. There was an error in something I tweeted out.
Oh,
shit.
Spelling
Good.
mistake. I was so worried about spelling Jonathan Marchessault last name correctly that I forgot an A in Jonathan, which was just... I was like, yes, I got Marchessault right, and then I didn't even look at... I just...
Stupid Joe Nathan.
Jonathan. So I deleted it.
As you should have.
Did you get
Shame.
aggressively corrected by Tim and Steve? Yeah, I bet you did.
I did get aggressive.
They are the man. Sports fans are fucking tough, man. It's so brutal.
It's like that scene in The Lion King where Simba stares up at the hill and all of a sudden thousands of wildebeests come over the hill charging at him in a stampede. When you make a spelling mistake, you are Simba.
You're absolutely right.
And Twitter is the wildebeest.
Yeah, and they're all yelling, actually.
Just a bunch of wildebeest with actually printed it like shaved into the side. Oh no, it's the actually beast. Oh, man.
Spelling mistakes are something so simple, but people care so much about them. It's weird.
Yeah, it happens all the time.
By the way, I'm glad.
Are you sure? Wait, did you actually mean Jonathan? Did you really mean Jonathan?
You know, I can't tell you who you're talking about because the last name's spelled correctly, but the first name's the one that's really throwing me.
I'm so confused. I don't get it. Explain. Am I to be absorbing information about Jonathan Marchessault? Or Jonathan Marchessault, who I think you're referring to,
Yes.
sir.
Who, by the way, signed a very nice contract today.
Yes.
He did.
So not bad on the average there, but the year breakdown, according to Pierre LeBrun, is $7 million in the first year, 6 in the second, 5 in the next 2, and then 3.5 and 3.5.
Great.
And he already has more assists this season in 35 games than he did all last season in 75.
Holy mackerel.
And he is on pace to beat his goals from last year as well. So he had 51 points last year. This guy is going to be well into the 60-point range.
Yeah, and he's in the middle of his prime. By the time the contract's done, the sun will probably be setting. So is the salary. Sounds about right to me.
What gets me is that he played a few games for the Tampa Bay Lightning and even went into the playoffs with them a couple years ago. What happened?
I don't know. It's funny.
Like, can you imagine? Okay, the Tampa Bay Lightning are as good as they are, and Jonathan Marchessault.
I know. But I don't...
Like, he probably would have been buried.
Everyone likes to think that a team... Like, it's funny. We yell and scream about, guys like, Matt Martin and Leo Komarov and stuff like that. We all think that teams are capable of throwing out 4 first lines. It's simply not possible. Like, I've had a lot of people tweet me recently, like, should the Leafs call up Ben Smith? I mean, after all, he is the Marlies' leading goal and point scorer. It's like, are you aware of Byron Fraze? Have you met Mike Zigomanis? Like, that's
TJ Brennan.
Yes, like that's not quite how it works. So would Marchessault have succeeded as like a shutdown guy? I don't know. I saw some chatter today about yet another small guy who went overlooked. But Justin Bourne was quick to correct. Like, during the playoffs, I think there was a game or two where Marchessault was in the Tampa lineup and Drouin was scratched. So Tampa, it sounds like, just didn't have room for him and missed out. Florida is the team that screwed up.
Yeah, boy, did they ever.
Yeah, I would love to go back and look at what Florida's overall picture was, because I'm really trying to understand how they managed to lose Marchessault, Riley, and a fourth. What?
Wouldn't you want to say that not just in that particular moment, but all of last season with Florida?
Oh, what's going on with Florida?
like it was.
Notice how everyone's so mum on the fact that they suck.
Oh, but they're getting better.
They got Dale Talon. Everyone's best friend. Everyone's golf buddy.
What I read today is that they're getting
text
better.
pal is back.
Everyone's text. Okay, what are you suggesting?
I'm suggesting that everyone's friend got his job back. And they're happy that their friend got his job back.
But they're 4-1 in their last 5, Steve.
Oh, you bet. Yeah.
And they still sit.
James Reimer. Their number 1, second, their first, second, and third star. James Reimer. Damn it. Yes. Yes,
So are you suggesting that because Dale Talon is media friendly and may or may not have a pre-existing relationship with certain people, that people aren't really pointing out the fact that Florida is again underperforming itself?
I don't recall saying that. I don't recall saying that at all. What is this you're looking at
That's
here,
their
Jason?
protected and some of their unprotected list from this past expansion draft.
Okay, so they had protected Alexander Barkov.
Makes sense.
Yep. Nick Bjugstad. Jonathan Huberdeau. Vincent Trocheck. Aaron Ekblad. Keith Yandel. You know, I got to say, Florida was in a really unfortunate position because at least 4 of those names are guys who I thought would have been young enough to be protected. How the hell is Ekblad a guy that you had to protect?
Too many games.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Sorry. Alexander Barkov, Nick Bjugstad, Jonathan Huberdeau, Vincent Trocheck, Aaron Ekblad, Keith Yandel. I wonder if they regret that. Mark Pysyk, Alex Petrovic. I wonder if they regret that. And James Reimer.
Where is Keith Yandel? Oh, yeah. No, he's doing great. He's like 5th in team scoring.
Oh, is he?
All right.
Yeah.
So,
Vincent Trocheck is leading the team.
In the summer, I think there were rumors about him getting dealt or something. That leaves Jonathan Marchessault, UC Jokinen, Riley Smith, Derek McKenzie, Colton Sevier, Jason Demers, and Roberto Luongo as the odd ones out.
Well, here's the thing. Nick Bjugstad is not having a great year. He's only got 20 points. So of the names on that list, maybe Nick Bjugstad. Like, who do you switch out?
Yeah.
That's the tough part.
Yeah.
Well, here's what I'm trying to figure out. No,
Who do you switch out?
I don't blame him for having Bjugstad there. What's confusing to me, again, they lost Marchessault, Riley Smith, and a 4th.
They didn't have to lose Riley Smith.
Yeah, even though it would have been bad to lose Jonathan Marchessault.
I think they wanted to lose Riley Smith's contract and didn't have a choice but to lose Jonathan Marchessault.
They did, so why not? Could you not maybe sweeten the pot to, like, maybe have it be Riley Smith and a higher pick?
Why
But
did they
also,
have to do that?
Look at how Riley Smith is doing.
Yeah.
He's a little overpaid, or was. So, and I mean, I'm sure it helps that he's on a wicked team, but he's also part of the wicked team.
But they couldn't have just said, take one guy, and that's it?
I'm not understanding that. Like, they wouldn't have wanted Jason Demers. They were loading up on D.
That doesn't make sense to me.
I don't know. The answer to this question, I think Dale Talon knows the answer. I think George McPhee knows the answer. Maybe a few reporters know the answer and just won't say it. I'd be fascinated to know how the hell that came about. How do you hand Vegas most of 2/3 of a really good line and a pick? Holy shit.
It's true.
They still shouldn't be this good. I don't care. It's so dumb. It's so dumb.
If Jonathan Marchessault was a Florida Panther right now, and he had the exact same stats, he would be leading the team along with Vincent Trocheck and Jonathan Huberdeau in points.
Life's not fair.
He would be tied for first in goals and, tied for first in assists as well. So Trocheck and Marchessault have the exact same numbers.
Is that good?
That's pretty good, I would think.
I don't know if that's good. There is one more thing I wanted to
His
look
plus
at.
minus is better. It's 13. Trocheck's is -3. Bad player. Bad player.
You're right. Bad player. What do we got here? How do I... Like, this is dumb. Why can't I get to that?
What? Nobody knows what you're talking about.
I'm trying to get to shooting percentage on the Vegas Golden Knights
Start with
site.
that. Start with that. Hey, I'm trying to get to shooting.
Am I failing?
And I can't figure out the website right
Am I
now.
failing first year broadcasting?
All I'm saying is that, it would be good if people had context. That's
You
the
can
key.
also ask me to look it up so you guys can talk.
Yeah.
here,
The podcast doesn't go to shit. Just you
what do we got
talking to
here?
a computer.
No, listen, we got... You know what's funny? I was trying to look up the Vegas shooting percentages.
We had no idea. Did you? Were you?
I believe I was mid-sentence.
I believe you didn't even tell us.
I think I was mid-sentence. I think I was about to explain the rest of that. I'm not going to talk about it. I don't feel like it.
No, Steve, tell us what's funny. Please tell us what's funny.
John Mulaney, very funny comedian. I enjoy his demeanor, his presentation, and his material. I like John Mulaney. Good for John Mulaney. That's what's funny. Continue.
Well, you were going somewhere with the shooting percentage. So
no.
What point did you want to make? So you're not going to make...
No, John Mulaney was talking about it in his special.
Shooting percentage?
Yep.
Steve, where the fuck are you going? Where's this going?
I'm refusing to talk about it.
Okay.
I'm not talking about it.
Well, it is...
Thanks, Jesse. Okay. So I wanted to talk about guys who had unsustainable shooting percentages on Vegas. They're not all that bad. What are you doing? Oh, okay.
You got to be on the camera.
Why is...
Sorry, go ahead.
I feel like a child right now. Okay, William Karlsson in 38 games is shooting 26.3%.
Wow, okay. So that
is going to torpedo.
But he's still got 20 goals already. So
that's going to half.
All right. So then he gets 30 goals this year.
Right. Exactly. He'll still get 30 goals.
That's not the worst thing in the world.
No. Haula is at 17.7. David Perron is at 16.4. James Neal is at 16.
We expect James Neal to be, right? 16? 15?
That's still the line. Anything above 15 is pretty high.
Okay.
For James Neal, maybe not. Then you got Oscar Lindbergh shooting 13.5%, although he hasn't taken that many shots. Marchessault is at 12.1. So that's a good bet. God, why is this team A, currently a contender, and B, going to be a contender forever? They're going to be. They've already extended 2 guys. They were very good extensions, Braden McNabb and Jonathan
Yeah, they're not selling. I mean, they
have 28 picks over the next 3 drafts, and 10 of them are in the first 2 rounds.
I think Marc-Andre Fleury is 9-0-1 on the season.
Oh my God.
Dude, remember when Vegas got Marc-Andre Fleury for less than free? They got him for less than free because they got a second rounder as well.
Why did they get a second rounder again?
I think it was so that they wouldn't claim Matt Murray, or I don't even remember exactly why, because...
Why would Matt Murray be the...
Well, this was the thing. Wasn't the whole thing about Fleury that he waived his no-move clause so that they could protect Murray? And
yeah. So,
why?
I don't know.
Can we look that up? I want to know why.
Was it just...
I forgot that.
Rutherford deciding, I'm a good guy? Here's the second.
He's 8-1-1, sorry.
Oh, Jesse.
What
Actually, here come the...
Tell me about Marc-Andre Fleury.
But his save percentage.
I need to know.
Do you want me to read it out?
Please do.
9. That's it, because NHL.com.
No.
They actually went down to 1 decimal place.
There was too much buildup.
He's a 9.43.
Wow.
He's better than Vasilevskiy in far fewer games. That's... What the...
What was I looking at before? Oh,
Yeah, why that second round pick was thrown that way. Hey, the thing about Vegas that nobody's talking about is the guy with the best shooting percentage, which is Vadim Shipachyov. It's 33% shooting, and they let him go for nothing.
When we scolded them?
Well, yeah. I mean, hey, man, sometimes you win some, you lose some. Vasilevskiy and Shipachyov. I think they could have handled the Shipachyov situation better. I still think they could have.
He couldn't make the second best team in the league.
Tough to make.
Tough shit for him.
Yeah, true. Good point.
They're too good. It's the stupidest shit. It's the Okay, would you rather have Shipachyov or Karlsson? Obviously Shipachyov. Nope. Wrong. Guess wrong.
And Eric Hollis.
Nope. Wrong. Belmar. Wrong again, apparently.
Right. Seriously. It's crazy.
No.
So Marc-Andre Fleury had a no movement clause, and he needed to waive it so that Vegas could select him in the expansion draft.
But why was the second
That still doesn't
rounder,
explain why Pittsburgh was just like, here you go.
Did that really happen?
Yeah,
are you sure?
Yes.
That must have slipped under my radar. I do not remember that.
Second rounder in 2020. Second rounder in 2020. I don't know why.
Maybe Cap Friendly has it. I don't know.
I don't remember directions to anywhere. And I remember that.
Okay. Well, while Jesse's looking that up.
I want to know who they left exposed. that was worth that? I don't get it.
Page needs to load.
I don't get it.
Da-da-da.
Yes.
A deal. So it says, according to Pierre LeBrun of TSN, don't know what that is.
The Athletic, I think.
According to Pierre LeBrun,
He is of the Athletic.
of the Steve Dangle Times, he works for you now.
Does.
It also looks like the Penguins are sending a draft pick to the Golden Knights, a deal made to persuade George McPhee to take Fleury.
What? Again?
Wait. What?
So there were other guys on the Penguins who they had exposed, and they didn't want Vegas to take.
Who?
Because Vegas didn't really need to take Fleury because of his giant contract. So
Right, but who are the other guys?
let's see.
So, Fleury was that big of a cap dump?
Yeah, I think Connor Sheary was on that list. Justin Schultz.
Justin Schultz? Seriously?
Yeah, so
I guess they had a lot of must protects. Letang, Kessel, Malkin, Crosby.
Down the list. They had all those other guys exposed, so they sent the second round pick so that McPhee would take.
Yeah, I guess.
Because remember all of the goalies that were available? And we were like, they could just take 6 goalies and trade them. So they didn't really need to take Fleury in his giant contract.
And
they had Mrazek available to them. They had a few.
Yeah.
And they didn't take him?
But
McPhee named his price?
But you're going to take Marc-Andre Fleury either freaking way over Justin Schultz? Yes. Absolutely.
Dude, Justin Schultz.
3-time Stanley Cup winning goaltender Marc-Andre Fleury? You're going to take
For my
Justin
expansion
Schultz?
team.
Yeah, I'm taking him.
Because
I can trade
when
him.
we were thinking about this team, well, that's the only reason, really.
Bingo.
Because I was just thinking, I thought, heading into Vegas becoming a team, they start young and shitty, and they get
great.
A little bit older and unshitty.
Now they'll start great and end up great.
Yeah, all these picks, it's unbelievable. All these guys they've already picked.
Here's the list of guys who were exposed. So Justin Schultz was protected. But the exposed guys were Hagelin, Russ, Bonino, Cullen, Kunitz, Scott Wilson, Josh Archibald.
Let's go through that slowly. Let's go through that slowly. So
Carl Hagelin.
Okay, he's on their team, having an off year.
Brian Rust.
He's on their team.
Nick Bonino.
He was a free agent.
Left to Nashville as a free agent.
Impending UFA. Matt Cullen, also impending UFA.
And also 40.
Chris Kunitz.
Free agent.
Scott Wilson.
Traded to Detroit for
Riley Sheehan.
Tom Kuhnhackl.
Is a depth player.
Josh Archibald.
He's on the Coyotes now for some reason.
Yes.
I think a minor trade.
Ian Cole.
Who is
on the trading block.
Trevor Daley, UFA.
Who left for Detroit.
Ron Hainsey.
Who left for Toronto.
Mark Streit.
Who
was
left for Montreal and then retired.
Left. He just left.
Yeah.
Frankie Corrado.
Who
is still in
plays
Pittsburgh.
Currently.
That's right. No, he gets called up sometimes. Yeah.
Tim Erickson.
I feel like Tim Erickson never actually existed. He was just.
And Stuart Percy.
Who is now on Rochester.
What?
Why did Pittsburgh do that?
But they sent a second round pick to make sure.
Why did Pittsburgh do that? As just a cap dump?
So they
no one wanted him? No one.
Yo,
I don't think I believe that.
That is the most badass shit that has happened in the NHL ever, low-key. George McPhee called and said, I'm not taking Fleury. Yeah. Yo, that's how it went.
Yeah.
George McPhee is a bad motherfucker right there.
He is?
Wow.
You're telling me Nick Bonino and I don't need him.
And it's not like, he's not on some rookie GM either. That's Jim Rutherford.
You know what's funny? I was just about to say, you're telling me Arizona wouldn't have taken Marc-Andre Fleury?
Would have, for sure.
But he had a no-move clause. The whole thing. Why do I want to go to Arizona for? At least Vegas has the promise of one day they might be good.
Mm-hmm. And if they're bad, he can live there and then leave. But he won't.
At least Vegas is allowed to spend money.
So it's kind of crazy how we're working back towards how the hell did Vegas get this good?
Yeah.
Oh, wait. McPhee kind of fucked over a couple of teams.
Man.
And the thing is, in the draft,
and he could have
done better. He could have been way better
post-draft.
Griffin Reinhardt?
He's great. Isn't he with the Sabres again? Or Sabres now?
That's Sam.
Oh, it's Sam.
Did he get claimed?
No, I don't know where Griffin Reinhardt is.
Might have got claimed.
No, it was Sam Reinhardt.
It's not even good. Like,
I felt like they were playing together for some reason. I don't know. Yeah, it's Griffin Reinhart. Dude.
I plan on doing a big "How the hell is Vegas good" piece. And also I want to go back in time and figure out how all these teams, like Nate Schmidt.
Yeah, man.
But it was him or Grubauer.
I'm taking Nate Schmidt on that one.
Your backup goalie, man. Like, I don't know.
I mean, Grubauer is awesome, but I would take Nate Schmidt just because he's a young defenseman, really in demand. And based on what we thought at the time, they weren't going to be a good team, so he's easy to flip for picks.
But at the end of the day, okay, so what were you allowed to protect again? It was 7 forwards, 3 defense, and...
Or 8 guys overall or something.
And a goalie.
So like
right.
Nashville had to protect 4D, so...
But Nashville, I think, was one of like half a dozen, maybe, teams that had to do that. So ultimately, as smart as George McPhee may or may not be, looks like maybe, as smart as he is, Vegas should have been a team built out of every other team's 8th or 9th best forward.
And 3rd or 4th best.
4th or 3rd best defender.
And second goalie.
And second goalie. With the exception of one guy who they got a second for as well. Why are they good at all? They should stink. But McPhee ripped off the entire league. Everyone. Every single one. How did he pull it off?
Are there any advanced metrics saying that this is a Colorado Avalanche of a few years ago?
Oh, like, are they riding a high PDO or
Yes.
something?
I don't know.
Here, Jesse, can you just look up like 2017-18 PDO or something? Like, I think they have a high one. But I believe their possession is decent.
And Gerard Gallant's a great coach. We know that.
Gerard Gallant's a great coach.
So that's the other thing Florida lost. They lost 2 players, a 4th round pick, and a coach.
Like, is he a great coach or just a good coach? Like, why wasn't Florida this good at the beginning of last year? Surely on paper.
Maybe they just had an off start. Like,
Man,
look at poor Todd Richards in Columbus. Like, how bad does he feel? Bobrovsky has a terrible year or has a terrible start.
Now?
I have no idea.
ever
And
gonna
then
be back?
Tortorella comes in, and then Bobrovsky plays like Bobrovsky again. Plays like the Vezina.
Magic. Yeah, Bobrovsky had the worst stretch of his entire career. Forget when he was like a backup in Philly. Worst stretch of his entire career. Tortorella comes, I feel better. Oh, man.
It's insane. That's
Guy.
insane.
He was like an 8. He was like an 8.5.
I'd like to know, like, it's like I feel bad for Peter Horachek when he was coaching the Leafs. This is a former Leafs head coach. Where is he?
Want to say he's in an organization somewhere. I feel like a year after he got fired, someone did like a retrospective on him and they caught up with him and he was like, yeah, that was rough.
He is a pro scout for the New Jersey Devils.
Ooh, hey, he works for the Devils along with friend of the show, Rachel Dory.
That's correct.
Did we talk about that?
No, we didn't.
That is crazy.
Congratulations to Rachel, by the way.
Yes. What is
Early, what is she, 21?
She's 21.
And is now a scout, advanced stats, doing what's
video.
It is video.
I think she's here. So you could probably find it on Twitter.
Yeah,
but
I know. I just don't have it right in front of me.
Rachel Dory. I met her for coffee in the food court of CBC a few years ago because I don't know. She just wanted to chat, and I think she was already doing some work for an OHL team at the time. She was 19. 19. So like the junior players on the team she was working for were her age. And it's 2.5 years later, whatever. She's working for the New Jersey Devils.
You know, there's some people that just, when they just have it, she just has it.
Yeah.
Like, there's some stuff, we were DMing back and forth, and there's some stuff she told me about the Leafs. She's like, well, this and this and this, all of it happened. I was like, okay, wow, that's pretty good.
And that's just by watching.
Yeah.
Like she wasn't even part of the organization.
Yeah. Amazing.
The last place team in PDO for this season is the
Vegas Goldman. Oh,
Arizona Coyotes at 96.6.
Oh, okay.
Gosh darn. That's terrible.
Right in the middle of the pack, Chicago.
That's not good for them.
15th. Their PDO is 100.2.
Right, so it's bang average, yeah.
Fourth place, the Toronto Maple Leafs at 101.9.
Eep.
First place, 103.8, Tampa Bay. Where do you think Vegas sits?
Second.
10th.
Fifth.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
101.8.
So they might be for real?
Well, I mean, 101, like that's not redonkulous.
No.
That's not crazy over the top.
So wait a second. So Rachel's doing what Justin Bourne did for the Marlies. Rachel will be doing that, correct?
Here
it is.
I don't know specifically.
Happy to announce that I'm joining the New Jersey Devil hockey operations department as an analyst, player information video. So I thought player information might mean scouting, but I might be wrong. I don't know. I don't know what that means, man.
Video scouting.
Oh, okay. I don't know, man. I'm just not into that. I just don't even know.
For example, Justin Bourne's job wasn't just to be like, this button means record.
Yeah.
He's like, a former pro hockey player. So he got to go through the video and be like, here are the tendencies. And, we're about to play a team that has like the first ranked power play in the league. Let's go through the video and watch that stuff. So that's what Rachel's doing.
That's pretty cool. That's really
It's extremely cool. And I saw some stuff, Lady Dubas and all that. No, Kyle Dubas can't hold a candle to that. He was GM of the Sudbury Wolves at 25. I mean, Rachel's got 4 years. And she's already working for an NHL team.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
That is nuts. Congrats to her, man. She's probably listening.
I hope so.
Hey, Rachel.
Congratulations.
Hello.
Rachel. Okay. So let's move on to Edmonton. And this one comes via our friend Jesse Blake. Friend of the show, Jesse Blake. Edmonton.
How old is he?
Edmonton has the worst penalty killing in the league.
I told you.
I didn't know it was this bad. They've lost 4 in a row.
Jesse, can you look up who played on the Oilers penalty kill last year and this year?
Okay.
Please. Like just time on ice. Sorry, yes, Adam.
The Oilers penalty kill sits at 70.8%.
No.
It is worse.
No.
Here's where it gets scary.
3 out of every 10 go in.
Here's where it gets truly scary. The Oilers PK unit has an efficiency rate of 55.6% on home ice.
So
at home, half the goals go in.
What does that mean? No.
The Toronto Maple Leafs have posted the
You're
worst.
making that up. Jesse, you sent that has to be wrong.
The Toronto Maple Leafs.
Jonathan
I made these
Marchessault.
up. Yeah.
That's wrong.
Half. The 08-09 Leafs posted the worst ever home PK. Of course, the 08-09 Leafs did.
Yeah.
Worst ever home ice PK number with a mark of 69.4. We are 40 games in.
The opposite of nice.
But that is almost, that's a full 15 points ahead.
Oh my holy goodness. Wow. All of those numbers are staggering.
McDavid is pointless for a third straight game for the first time in his career.
Who cares?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Who cares? That's
Back to the penalty kill.
Yeah, that to me is that's when it rains it pours kind of stat. I mean, eventually you're going to go 3 games without scoring a freaking
Or at
point.
Oils.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure Sidney Crosby has gone on longer pointless streaks than that and then won the scoring race and Hart.
See, this is where I wish Rachel didn't work for New Jersey anymore because then I could be like, hey, I'm seeing this. What do you think? And then she'd be like, well, there's reasons for this. And it's
funny. I was about to ask her to come on the show, and I told her this. I was about to ask her, and then she's like, well, you're going to have to go through the Devils. What a power move. Sorry, you're going to have to request an interview with my NHL team.
You got big time. You got big time, buddy. So that's real. That's so bad.
Lose?
You want the shorthanded time on ice times?
Yes, please.
All right. So
Last year or this?
we can start with last year.
Cool.
Actually,
Yeah, start with last year.
yeah, okay, fine.
At the top of the list, Chris Russell, 2 minutes 18 seconds.
Sure.
Average. Mark Letestu came second.
Is he still on the team? I think he is. Okay.
Andre Sekera, third.
Who was not?
Yeah, he'd be out.
I'm sorry, but that's not responsible for.
No, that's something.
Anton Launder, 153 in fourth
Really?
place. Yep.
Okay, he's gone.
The Nuge, fifth. Clefbaum in sixth. Adam Larson in 7. Matt Hendricks, 8.
Wait a second.
They lost Hendricks.
Isn't Adam Larson the defensive specialist?
I think he's just a good all-around D. He's not like...
Why is he not higher? That's weird.
So that's your top 8.
was he hurt?
He might have been. I don't know.
So that's your top 8 from last year.
This year.
Top
What is
8,
is that average time on ice or total?
Average.
average.
Okay, so that's...
Average time on ice.
That's weird.
Throughout
Anton
the whole-
Lander.
Throughout the whole season.
really
this year. Number 1 is Adam Larson.
Okay.
Number 2.
So I guess not. I guess he's not a defensive specialist.
I don't know. Well, let's keep going.
2, Darnell Nurse. 3, Clefbaum. 4, Brandon Davidson. 5, Mark Letestu. 6, Chris Russell. 7, the Nuge. 8, Zach Kassian.
Why'd they dock Chris Russell so much?
I don't know, 1st to 6th.
He seemed to be. I mean,
He was at 218. Now he's at 150.
What I would like to know is where the Oilers' penalty kill finished last season in terms of what.
Yeah, was it still bad? No, I think I saw it was
bad.
17th. I think I saw the same prep Jesse sent. That's crazy.
Was it 17th last year?
Yeah, which is still back
Yeah, it
half.
should be
but
on that list.
that's pretty
Not on this
average.
one, but-
That's not costing you a playoff spot or anything.
No.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that's bad. That's really bad.
That's, you know what? That's mental. Like, I mean,
That can't last either. That
No.
will never. It just would not. Like, it's going up.
it's like last year. I mean, the Leafs were doing things wrong that led to them coughing up leads.
Yes.
But you saw it in their eyes. Like, they were all, they get up 3-1, 4-1 on a team. And it's like, oh my God, we should probably stop scoring goals because now we gotta, oh God. And then they would just freak out and lose.
It's like a dog that caught a squirrel. I don't know what to do with
I don't
this.
know what to do with it.
And you were right about 17th.
Okay. So that's,
Good memory.
I try. Don't remember directions. How, like, is it has to be when the Oilers take a penalty, they're like, oh shit. Like, we're not going to be able to do this.
Yeah.
We can't do this.
Yeah. Yeah. Could be. For sure. Mental thing.
How do you allow half of your home penalty kills against?
You know what else is interesting about that? A guy I would have thought would, and I think they probably signed him for this reason, but they have since traded him, is UC Jokinen. I would have thought he would have been one of their penalty killers.
Is he typically a PK?
I would have thought so. He's got some foot speed, but maybe not. They were wrong.
There's another reason, yet another reason why if you're the Oilers, give the Leafs a little ring about Sash. Give him a ring. Hell, at this point, give him a call about Dominic Moore.
We'll take Oscar Clefbaum.
Yeah. No, but
Dominic Moore would make sense. You can give up nothing to get him.
just offer to leave something for Moore and Sash. See what they say. See what they say. Just get a whole new
Darnell Nurse.
Get a whole new PK unit for free.
Yeah.
Well, not for free.
Sash would be good
but
for
you know
them.
what I mean? Overnight. Well, I think he solves a couple problems for them, but that's bizarre because I genuinely feel like that's not that bad of a team anymore. Like,
Or were they ever that bad of a team?
well, I mean, we yelled and screamed about them like they were, but I mean, they had, you know what? They had obvious holes. Mm-hmm. But that's ridiculous.
That's crazy.
That's nuts. They're barely different from last year. Also, when did Sekera get hurt? Because,
Playoffs?
yeah, I'm pretty sure they knew they were going to be without Sekera heading into this season. And if he's that big a part of your team, which it sounds like he was only part of their second unit, shouldn't you have prepared a little bit better? Like, again, with the Oilers, it can't just be Sekera. Come on.
No, it can't. Not one player. One player cannot make. If a player is making that much of a difference, then you don't have depth and you have a problem.
How many Final Four teams over the past few years is Andrei Sekera on the top pair of? You know what I mean? That's a good player. That's a great defenseman. But come on. I think it's mental. I think it's mental. That or, I don't know, what they got, a new coach? New assistant coach and he sucks? I don't know. That's brutal. That's unbelievable. Half. Stop that right now. That's insane.
The Montreal Canadiens have lost 5 straight games after going on a bit of a surge. Shea Weber, unlikely to return before the All-Star break. Is it time to just pack it in?
Ooh. More like patch it in.
You see? Because he's on the trade block, Patch ready.
What is it going to take to fire Mark Bergevin? What's it going to take?
I mean, he just got an extension. Now you got to pay him.
Wait, when did he get it?
Didn't he recently get one within the last year and a half? He's extended till 2022, man.
Does Trump still have control of the nuclear weapons?
Apparently there's a big button on his desk.
Maybe when the world explodes, then he'll be fired because the world won't exist and we're the NHL.
Do you mean fired or die in fire?
Well, this got dark.
It's a joke, everybody. Please don't come after me on Twitter.
I mean, when we're all dead, every team will be 500.
True.
Every team will be undefeated.
The parity in the league will be outstanding.
Gary Bettman will be so happy.
So happy. So happy.
It's kind of dark.
Well, I mean, it's
Gary, what do you think? We don't want to get involved politically. Gary, what do you think of nuclear war? I mean, the league doesn't have an official stance on nuclear
money.
Is
it going to make us money?
Somebody asked Ken King. Elliot Friedman has called the heat around. He said this on Sportsnet 650 in Vancouver. Elliot Friedman called the heat around Pittsburgh trade rumors somewhat like being near the center of the earth, as in they are hot, hot, hot. Jim Rutherford wants to add a center and a winger. He wants to add scoring. He wants to add big time. Mike Hoffman is a name that's being thrown out there.
Oh!
He's got 2 years left. Max Pacioretty, who's got 1.
Come on now!
Evander Kane, who is a rental.
Whoa!
Who's your sleeper?
That is every big name forward available, isn't it?
Those are the 3.
Those are the 3 biggest ones that I can think of. Like outside of Nuge. Like Nuge is the only guy you're missing from all the hot take names. And that's Friedman. Holy shit. Sorry, what were you saying?
Well, who's your sleeper? Who's the guy that's not on that list that you go, they get moved? Like, I mean, you mentioned Sash and Dominic Moore, but those are guys that are like, they're depth guys. Is there a sleeper on that list? Nuge? But I don't move Nuge. Why do you move Nuge? Then you have to put Draisaitl at center.
You should do it anyway.
I don't know why you don't run your top 3 lines, McDavid, Draisaitl, Nuge, and you just run show all day.
Because they want to give the rest of the league a breather. So next year they can come back and hit us really hard.
Pittsburgh Penguins
when they get Rasmus Dahlin.
With Dahlin.
Yeah, Pittsburgh Penguins fans have been on me for months now about wanting Tyler Bozak for some reason. It's not going to happen. It could.
Why would we give an Eastern Conference team one of our top 3 centers?
I don't know. Well, it would have to be a really good return. What does Pittsburgh have to offer? Great question.
Chris Letang.
Undo the Kessel deal.
Daniel Sprung. Gimme. No. Look. Like,
undo the Kessel train.
Just undo it.
You have to give Phil back. Phil and Austin
Straight
and William Nylander.
Bozak for Kessel.
Oh.
And then we would have to, we would all be pallbearers for Irony.
Yes.
Because Irony would be dead that day. Babcock recently said when talking about the Tampa Bay Lightning, they have too many centers. And you want to have too many centers. Like, how hilarious is it that Tampa has Tyler Johnson playing the wing for fun? For fun.
It's crazy.
For funsies. Given that is his mantra, I don't see the Leafs trading Bozak. I mean, unless they were to get a center in return, but how does that help Pittsburgh at all? So, it's not going to be the Leafs. You would think that they would want a center before a winger, unless it's one of the big fish. So who's a sleeper? Duclair? That could be good. I mean, they have a good
There's a guy that could use a change of scenery and
they have a good relationship with John Chayka. I think they just made a move with him. Is there a spare part in Vegas? But that doesn't really solve much, does it? Oh boy. Are there many sleepers? Who's available on Buffalo? Well, Kane.
Yeah, that's it. Well, that can't be it in Buffalo. Like, what if, and there's no way Pittsburgh could afford this.
There's not a lot in Buffalo.
What if Buffalo could unload one of those onerous contracts, i.e. Kyle Okposo or Ryan O'Reilly? Now, I don't mean to say that those players are not worth the money.
No, the Penguins aren't allowed to get Ryan O'Reilly. No.
But they have he's $7.5 million. There's no way they're going to get him. They can't afford him.
Letang.
Oh, man, Buffalo needs D badly.
Sweeten that pot a little bit?
Whoa. That could work.
I think it could work. The money's almost even.
And here's the thing. Buffalo needs... I hate to say this, but Buffalo, whether it wants to or not, has to continue rebuilding because they're already in last.
3 cups. Why would you do that to them? That's so mean. That's so mean.
Okay, then he gets to play with Rasmus Dahlin tomorrow next year.
Oh, there you go.
That's first top pairing is Rasmus Dahlin and Chris Letang.
Holy shit.
And then you got
Buffalo's different overnight.
And Rasmus Ristolainen is now your second guy. And then you can...
Don't mind that much.
I don't know.
Josh Georges! No, boy, I don't know who else Buffalo really has, but that's a start. That's a start. That could be very interesting.
Okay, because you've got...
You just blow the doors off Letang and a first and a conditional third for O'Reilly and Kane. No, that would never happen.
Yeah, because they've got... Okay.
Or would it?
They've got Marco Scandella and Rasmus Ristolainen as their top two. Don't tell me Letang and Dahlin.
Scandella.
And we're saying Rasmus Dahlin, but...
Well, Buffalo's problem is they can't score goals. Dude, they don't even, last I checked, they don't even have 90 goals yet. I think almost every other team in the league has at least 100.
Yeah, it's rough. That's rough.
Bad.
Well, so I just wondered about that situation. Like, sleeper, I would, and I wonder too, Evander Kane. Where does he end up?
Well, Vancouver's always the rumor, but they're going to be unloading. What's Sam Gagner up to?
He is in Vancouver.
Yeah. I haven't heard much of anything about him this season. Is he just having an off season? Is he injured? What's going on there?
Well, he's got 18 points in 40 games. He had 50 and 81 last year, so...
It's not very good. But I wonder, Sam Gagner strikes me as the kind of guy who can make some noise in Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
He'd probably be doing better than he's doing in Vancouver.
Mm-hmm.
He'd be cheap. I don't think Pittsburgh has that much to give up. That, to me, is a sleeper match made in heaven. Vancouver's looking to unload him. I mean, when I saw that contract signed in the summer, it was, who was it? It was like him, Burmistrov, and there was another guy, Del Zotto.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think the Penguins should be calling about all those guys. Well, not Burmistrov, but Del Zotto and Gagner.
If the Vegas Golden Knights are for real,
The vegan Golden Knights.
Are they the only ones who can truly afford to pay the price of an Erik Karlsson, a Drew Doughty, or an Oliver Ekman-Larsson?
Dude, they have
in trade
over $8 million in cap space, 28 picks over the next 3 years. Like, they can afford whatever they want. It's nuts. It's nuts.
And most of the team is UFA after this year. That's the other thing.
But watch, they get all these big name guys, and then they start to suck. Because that's how hockey works.
Yeah, of course.
So, I mean, Vegas still has too many guys. Way too many.
Yeah.
Oh, it's crazy.
They could still unload. They could still trade away guys that they're not using.
Like retain salary on Jason Garrison, who's just chilling in the minors. Like, I don't even know. I would call Vancouver if I was Pittsburgh.
Interesting thought on Ottawa, and this comes from 30 Thoughts, or 31 Thoughts. Ottawa's situation has been made even more complex by the conditions on the first rounder they sent to Colorado in the Duchesne deal.
Yep, bad.
This is so bad.
Bad.
The Senators can protect it if it's in the top 10, but then they have to give up their 2019 no matter what. So no chance the organization even thought this would be an issue. That's a problem. That's a big problem because that prevents you.
Pick.
It could be. And how do you rebuild? How do you rebuild?
The next year when you get the first overall pick? Because you finished last? I mean, okay, you lose the first pick. You lose Karlsson. Well, you lose a top 4 pick. You lose Karlsson. Next year you finish last, so you pick 4th at worst. That's how you rebuild. So it's going to take a while.
What about...
But you can't survive that long because you're Ottawa, so you relocate.
What if you're Ottawa?
It's bad, man.
If you're Ottawa, is there a chance that you can trade Duchesne to the Penguins?
Oh my God.
No.
Oh.
Retain salary?
Can't do that.
Can't do that?
No.
Why?
Logistically, you can't do that.
You can't?
It'd be a smart thing to do, but logistically, nope. You might as well move the franchise.
Oh, man. I think it makes... Don't hang on to him.
What would even go the other way? Oh, Adam. Oh, no.
And so what if it is Letang?
No.
Then you've got Karlsson, Phaneuf, Letang, and Ceci as your top 4 defense. That's not bad. No. That's not bad at all.
You can't just undo that. You have to stick it out.
Gives you the money to... Well,
It takes his backsies. Matt Duchene.
Yeah. It was a bad trade, and I think Matt Duchene's play is proving that. But you got to accept it.
Boy, do I not understand what the hell happened there at all.
They gave up way too much.
What if there are two guys that need a switch, so you trade Pacioretty for Duchene?
He just got his switch.
I know, but
he doesn't need a switch.
What's
he got the switch?
What are his points at? What's his?
Not good.
Okay, so you know how we've talked about like it's nice that the Leafs have guys like Connor Brown and Mitch Marner and Zach Hyman, like homegrown guys, grew up as Leaf fans, and isn't it great that guys who grew up as Leafs fans and watch them suck forever are part of
the Renaissance.
The Renaissance. What makes them good again? Matt Duchene got his heart broken, I think, by his childhood team. Got his heart broken. But
what initiated that trade in the first place?
Him. No, I'm pretty sure it was him.
Why though?
I don't know.
That's the one thing, the Matt Duchene thing that I don't understand is why did he ask for a trade?
He didn't believe in the direction and he thought they would suck. And now look at Colorado challenging for a playoff spot. That's not a terrible team. It's nuts. It's nuts.
You want some Matt Duchene numbers?
This reminds me of, remember when the Raptors traded Rudy?
Jesse.
Yeah, sorry. Remember when the Raptors traded Rudy Gay and got better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And fucked up the Kyle Lowry trade that they were supposed to make, right? Weren't they trying to trade him? And then the trade got rejected or something at the last second. Like I think they almost traded him to New York.
Yeah, they almost completed a Kyle Lowry trade and then it didn't happen.
And then it fell through and I think New York rejected it or something like that.
Thank God.
Yeah. And then they made the playoffs.
Wow. Yeah, no, that was unbelievable. They were one of the best teams in the league for like the last, 50, 60 games of the season. That was crazy.
Mm-hmm. And have gotten better since. Jesse, go ahead.
7 goals, 8 assists.
All season?
That's it.
How many since he got to Ottawa?
9 assists. Since he's been with Ottawa, 3 goals, 3 assists.
In how many games?
23.
Go home! Stop it! What?
That's his Ottawa stats, yeah.
Holy shit!
You know what's going to happen in Ottawa? They're not going to do anything, but they're going to fire their coach. And I hate to say it because I like him a lot.
Matt Duchene shooting a 5.9 while in Ottawa.
Oh, that'll get better.
That will get better.
That'll more than double.
Let's hope soon.
But even if it just doubled.
Let's hope.
Even if it doubled, how many shots is he taking? Well, no, it would just double the amount of goals. So he would have, 9 points?
Yeah, well, he's got 3 goals with Ottawa.
Yeah, so he would have 6 goals, 3 assists?
Yep.
Holy Santa
Are
Claus.
you even happy with that?
No.
Yeah, 7 goals in 37 games, 9 assists.
What on earth is going on there? What is going on there?
And his time on ice in Colorado was 15 minutes and 46 seconds. And in Ottawa, it jumped to 18. And his numbers went down.
He's too good.
Maybe
he's way too. Dude, this guy was on Team Canada at the World Cup a couple years ago.
Maybe the system isn't working for him. Well, it's not working for the whole team.
I think it's the system between the years isn't working. What is that? That's crazy. That's too good a player. That's far too good a player to be playing like that. Wow. And then watch him go to Pittsburgh and wreck world. Dude, if Ottawa were to trade Duchene at this point, would they have to retain salary?
Does it matter?
Yeah.
He's only on next year.
So,
well, if they did, they're going to get a huge package back. If I were them, I would rather retain salary than take on a Chris Letang salary.
You can't trade Matt Duchene. You traded for him. This, like a couple of months ago. Not even, like 2 months.
Yo, how long did it take? It took 0 seconds for this trade to suck.
And look at Kyle Turris. He's doing great. It's still just being Kyle Turris in Nashville.
And every draft pick Colorado got is already the greatest player ever because it's a draft pick. So it's all good.
Yep.
You know?
It worked out for
Here's
them.
a question. Yeah. Is this so bad that as Leafs fans, you feel bad?
I feel bad for,
I feel bad because
for Matt Duchene.
I feel a little bit bad for Matt Duchene, but I mean, Jesus, dude, this is your opportunity and you're blowing it here. But maybe that's why we feel bad, I guess, because we're empathetic people.
Yeah, you don't want people to blow their opportunity.
But I feel bad, like, if this team really, really stinks for, let's say, 4 years, does Ottawa lose the Senators?
It seems like right now, it's weird.
No Leaf fan should want that.
They're not good.
You don't want to lose one of your biggest rivals.
Yeah, but
that's fun. The Battle of Ontario.
It went from they were 1 goal away in overtime from the
final.
to all of a sudden we're talking 40 games later. Literally 40 games later, we are talking about them moving. What happened? It's literally every single dumbass in that room, and I'm not talking like Eugene on down. It has been bad all the way through, rotten all the way through. And it makes me wonder if this was always bubbling under the surface and Brian Murray always just was able to keep a lid on it and able to hold the ship together. Because it's unbelievable how this has just gone.
They got pretty incredible goaltending.
Sure.
Like, dude, the Hamburglar one. The Hamburglar run was so stupid.
But who doesn't get incredible goaltending? Oh, you mean the Hamburglar run?
I'm talking about that, but then last year, like
Craig Anderson.
Dude, they used 3 guys and they were all great.
But who makes it to the Final Four?
Anderson and Condon were great.
Who makes it to the Final Four and doesn't have incredible goaltending? Is there a weak goaltender?
No, but what I'm trying to say is they were propped up by it. But I saw Hoffman and Bobby Ryan was Bobby Ryan again.
Mark
and
Stone.
Stone and Carlson on a broken foot. And Brassard, what's happening?
Even Alexander Burrows.
Even he wasn't that bad. Did Burrows have more points in the same amount of games after he was traded to Ottawa last year than Duchesne has now? I think he did.
I'm going to say probably.
I'm going to go with probably. Because I think didn't he have like a 2-goal debut or something like that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Poor guys, man.
Alexander Burrows, last season with Ottawa, he played 20 games.
So that's less than Duchesne has played.
Yep.
Oh, I'm not going to like this.
Duchesne played 23 games.
That's 6 points.
Oh, boy.
Duchesne, 3 goals, 3 assists.
That's correct.
Yes.
Alexander Burrows had 6 goals, 5 assists.
Stop it this instant! No!
Oh,
that's not good.
Boy.
No!
That's not good. His time on ice was 13 minutes. So
they're so boned. Oh.
Unless they start winning.
Unless hockey happens.
If they start winning.
Unless hockey happens.
If Matt Duchesne.
Vegas is leading. They're second in the
picks it
NHL
up.
this year. Oh, yeah, they're fine.
If Matt Duchesne picks it up and they start winning, all this goes away.
They play the Leafs like 3 more times this season, just 7-0.
where do they sit in the standings?
Ottawa?
Oh, they're bottom 5.
Oh,
Yeah, they are right above Buffalo. 3 points ahead of the Buffalo Sabres for last place
Oh, in the East.
in the East.
And then Arizona.
So they're third last in the NHL.
Did you guys see Mark Spector's article on Sportsnet.ca today?
Oh, so much better than the Oilers just quit. So much better than the Oilers just quit.
Okay, so I'm trying to pull up the...
So-
I need you to read that headline.
There's a handy chart in there about
Here.
teams.
First, let me say the headline first.
Okay, go ahead.
The headline is another dreadful performance sees the Oilers season swirling the bowl.
Arpin Basu from the Athletic Montreal was just like, man, I wish I'd thought of that.
Yeah, good one, right? Anyway, Jesse, your chart. Sorry, buddy.
So there's a chart in that article about the most improbable runs to the playoffs from teams who were in a terrible position on December 31st of the last 7 years. The most improbable playoff run was the Buffalo Sabres, who sat on December 31st 10 points back of a playoff spot.
Ooh. What year was that?
That was 2010.
I don't even remember who was on that team. Okay.
The next one was 8 points back, St. Louis Blues. That was 2008. Oh, this is the last 10 years. 2008, they made the playoffs after being 8 points back. And then the Caps, Jackets, Wild, Ducks in 07, 13, 14, and 15 all made the playoffs after being 7 points back.
And the Oilers are how many points back, Jesse?
And the Oilers are currently sitting at 37 points, and Anaheim in the last spot is at 46. So since 2007, only one team who's been 9 points back has made the playoffs.
And Anaheim's starting to get guys back too.
And that was the Sabres who did it in 2010. So the odds are impossible.
Poor Canada.
Poor Canada. 6 teams from Canada made the Stanley Cup playoffs.
0. 6. Maybe 2.
Winnipeg and Toronto and Calgary.
Calgary is in
and
right now.
Winnipeg was the one that missed last year. No, Vancouver missed too. Vancouver missed? Vancouver missed.
Vancouver missed.
Yeah,
did Winnipeg make it?
It was 5 of 7. 5 of 7.
Yeah.
My bad.
And Winnipeg should have made it. They were good enough. They just had terrible
Now
goaltending.
they're leading the Central. That's nuts. That's crazy.
It's expected. It's what should have been. They finally have goaltending. But anyway.
Imagine the Jets buy at the deadline and get Scheifele back. That could be a really good team, man. A really good team.
Is a really good team.
We
should also note that Montreal is 8 points back.
Oh.
So,
well, I believe, listen, I believe the Oilers run more than I would believe a Montreal run.
I still feel like the Leafs control their own destiny, and when they just decide to be the Leafs, for God's sake, they'll be fine.
Not fucking around?
No, you don't fucking around. Sorry, your Babcock
It's terrible.
It needs work. I can teach you.
Listen,
No fucking around.
that was really nice of you to say it needs work, because it's objectively it's bad.
But I see potential.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. That's a good supportive friend.
You're a talented man. You're a good young man, and I see a bright future for you. If you just take the opportunity will be there for you.
Something that I want to ask, I'm just going to ask this question, and I want to know, will this bother you? Jesse, Steve,
yes,
does this bother you?
Easily.
Easily. Yeah,
because we're easily bothered here. But
I'm already upset.
Skyland! Sorry.
The JVR 20,000 goal stick will sit in the Hall of Fame. Remember that the 20,000 goal stick was scored on the Leafs 20,000 goal. 52 of those came in a shootout.
No, they didn't. 52 of those were shootout wins.
Oh, shootout wins. So
they're well over 20,000 if we're doing shootout goals.
Their goals,
but nothing matters.
The goals,
nothing.
Shootout wins, by the way, count towards no goals. They count as a goal, but they don't count as a goal for the player, just the team.
Right.
Which I think is very bourgeoisie. I'd be very upset with that if I was the proletariat of the sport.
Totally.
Team getting credit for the player's work.
Totally Adam Wilde comparison.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
That is going to stay. That will be in the Hall of Fame, even though the Leafs have about, I think it's in the 30s now, 30 more goals to their actual 20,000th goal. If I am the Toronto Maple Leafs, do I not just say, can we just wait for the real one?
No. Because if you're the Toronto Maple Leafs, that was the 20,000th goal.
And it happened against the Canes, which was the 100th.
And it happened in the
100th
It's a
centennial
little
game.
too perfect. I hate it. I hate it so much.
Does it bother you, Jesse?
Not so much. I can't,
You're wrong. You're wrong to not be bothered by this. Wins are not goals.
Jesse.
It is your goal to win, but a win is not a goal.
Jesse has the right to speak here. Let him finish.
Sure.
I have a good friend, and his name is Adam Wilde.
Uh-oh.
And he taught me a long time ago about expecting things from people. And if you don't expect much, you won't be disappointed.
I have said that.
And the NHL, I expect them at this point to be dumb. And they've decided to count goals a certain way. And I've accepted it because it is a dumb league. So if you want to count it as a 20,000th goal, then go ahead. Count your heart out, because that's the way you are.
I can't wait for tomorrow when you get a press release. And the NHL has announced that assists are now called flarns.
It's just
and goals are called doesn't matters.
It's just a name.
And points are called pointy doos.
It's just a name. They could change the name.
Saves are called hoorays. What a hooray by Anderson! Glove hooray by Anderson!
I don't know why you're making the league more fun. The
That actually sounds hilarious.
The NHL would never do that.
That actually sounds hilarious.
Yeah.
Matt Murray with the pad stack yippee!
They should say that anyway.
What are you talking about?
Every different part of your body is a different name for a save. There's no saves. It's just a glove save is a whoopee.
Have you ever watched? Sorry, keep going.
A pad save.
Keep going.
Is a yippee.
Going what?
Sorry, please finish your thought there.
And a blocker save is a.
Do you watch the Raptors much on TV?
Sometimes, yeah.
Okay, so basketball coverage is very different from hockey coverage. Hockey coverage, you got to be serious and stern all the time. And blah. Basketball coverage is fun. They actually, there's guys out there, they're having fun. They're laughing. They're Jack Armstrong's the best. But the guy, and I forget his name.
So nice to the interns.
I forget the guy who actually calls the games, the play-by-play itself.
Matt Devlin.
Yeah. Matt Devlin. So whenever someone gets a three-pointer at all, he's like, CJ Miles from Brampton, and he's always
all the suburbs.
He's naming all the suburbs.
He does
right?
a great job.
And
he's like running out of them from Welland. Too
Peterborough.
far. Yeah. Too far.
You're thinking that you're saying what you just said reminded me that I was watching the Raptors and Caprice was on her phone, just whatever, doing whatever. And she's like, wow, all these players are Canadian. That's really cool that the Raptors are hiring all these Canadian guys.
That's funny.
I didn't know DeMar DeRozan was a Canadian. Well, he's not, but
it's from...
Isn't that great? Anyway,
Canadian province of Compton.
Random story.
And also Philadelphia.
McDavid, Subban, Ovechkin, and Stamkos are named the All-Star captains. I saved this for last.
Lowry is from Philadelphia.
But you went with DeMar, and then you said Compton, and then you said also Philadelphia.
Because I forgot to say Lowry first.
You didn't say that.
I got excited.
Okay.
McDavid, Subban, Ovechkin, Stamkos.
I tried to be like, I know Raptors.
All-Star captains. Did you catch them?
Hi, Adam.
Name them.
Stamkos, Subban, fucking...
West. Canada. Biggest star in the league.
McDavid.
And?
Probably a Blackhawk. No, because Subban... So, Doughty? Fuck. Who's in the Pacific? Should be someone from Vegas.
McDavid, Subban, Ovechkin, Stamkos.
McDavid.
Ovechkin is the one you missed.
I missed.
So you weren't even in the right right hemisphere. Anyway, those guys are the All-Star captains, and I saved this for last because literally who cares?
Yeah. Who gives a...
I mean, it's nice that Steven Stamkos at home in Tampa will be the captain of an All-Star team. I think that's cool. If the All-Star game were in Toronto, I would want it to be Austin Matthews.
That is, in one sound, that's the perfect reaction. Can you do that again? Yeah. Not angry. Just relative indifference.
The fans who go always have a great time. That's what All-Star games... All-Star games are for the city that hosts the game.
Bingo.
It's a terrible TV event for everyone. It doesn't matter because you're not there, and it's fun for the fans.
No. Jesse, in the words of Pierre Maguire... If you didn't like the All-Star game, you don't like hockey.
Oh,
actual thing he said once.
Well,
and by the way, that All-Star game was terrible.
Which one?
Oh, all of them.
Oh, fair.
I could use literally the non-John Scott ones. They're all bad.
Fair enough. Okay. No, so I went to the one in Columbus in 2015, the last non-John Scott one. And the skills competition was super fun. That was cool.
Yeah, that is cool. That's always
fun. That was the Tyler Seguin versus Phil Kessel race. That was cool. When they traded Seguin for Kessel or whatever, that was cool.
Yeah, that was funny.
That was fun. And then that night, everyone went out and had a good time.
Sure.
That was fun. Then the All-Star game comes, and it's just a shitty hockey game while hungover. And it was in Columbus. So every time there was a goal, they fired that frickin' cannon. And wouldn't you know it, they broke a record for goals. There were over 30 of them, as a matter of fact. And it scared the children. Kids are screaming and crying. Adults are holding ice packs to their heads and having a hair of the dog. No one had a good time.
Are the kids actually screaming and crying with the cannons?
Yeah, you saw them.
Did you see that?
Here, this is only good for the YouTube version, but I saw at least one kid do the... Okay. For those about to wreck! And then you see their...
What did you yell?
For those about to rock. It's the AC/DC song with the cannons.
I had no idea what you were
You didn't
yelling.
know that's what they did?
No, I did.
For those about to wreck!
Okay.
And I hope that was loud in your ears because it was loud in mine. And you see the kid, they do the wide-eyed... There's a level of fear where your body's just like, freeze! And that's what the kid did. And then you saw them very slowly snap out of it. And then they would go into that. It was awful.
Where they have to take a breath, but they're still kind of...
they're doing the silent...
Yeah. Like laughing like the lion from Wizard of Oz.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Anyway, it was... And, yeah, all the adults that didn't have kids were hungover. The adults that did have kids were getting screamed at. And there were some adults that were both. And I don't think any of the adults had a good time. I think the kids were terrified. The only people who had a great time were kids between like 14 and 9. 9, you're a little too old to be scared by the cannon. 14, you're a little too young to be resentful and pessimistic of things.
True.
15, life's over. Everything sucks. I'm going to start painting my fingernails black. Telling my parents that they suck.
That's right. Well, so the All-Star Game will release more names of people that made whatever team they're on, and good for them.
And we can argue about it.
No,
I'm looking forward to that.
That is one thing I will not do.
Why?
Because, listen, there are things that can be debated.
No.
Potential trades or what teams take in expansion drafts and whether a contract for a player is too much or too little or whatever. But I am not going to debate anyone over an All-Star Game selection. Who cares?
I'm going to come.
And if you find yourself, if you find yourself, I did get mad once when PK was not allowed into the All-Star Game, which was bullshit because didn't he win the Norris that year?
There's a little crack. There's a crack.
It's fair. It's fair.
Okay. When they announce the All-Star rosters, I'm gonna bring in 6 Red Bulls, 2 for each of us. We're gonna smash both of them on our heads, chug them, and debate the rosters. And we're gonna do it. We'll see if you don't feel passionately.
It's gonna be terrible content. It's gonna be brutal.
You'll see if you don't feel passionately about William Karlsson being snubbed.
If you find yourself on Twitter or on Instagram or on Reddit in a All-Star Game debate about who should have made it and who didn't,
stop it. Get some help. Michael Jordan.
Stop and do something else. Just do something else.
Agreed.
Right? Fair? No one cares. Doesn't matter.
You know what? You're free to do whatever you want. And you could do that. But consider this. You could even easier not do that.
All right.
That's all I have to say on the matter.
All right. Okay, cool. There's a wrestling video that Steve needs to watch, apparently, according to Jesse. Now, this is only really good for the YouTube version. However, I guess our reactions are going to be...
One more hockey thing.
Oh, one more hockey thing.
Tomorrow night, the Montreal Canadiens play the Tampa Bay Lightning. Tomorrow night's game between the Habs and Lightning will mark Sergachev's 40th game played this season. Do you know why that's important?
Yes, I do.
As a result, the conditional 2018 second to Tampa and the 2018 sixth to Montreal round draft picks included in the Drouin-Sergachev trade will remain with their respective teams. What are the odds?
So it says Drouin for Sergachev straight up.
The draft picks they traded are now nullified because Sergachev is going to play tomorrow in Montreal.
Wow.
That's pretty good.
Cool.
That's crazy.
It's a little too perfect. Also, he's freaking sick.
Yeah.
On that second goal, holy.
He's unreal. How do they have Victor Hedman and him?
And Strawman.
Bergevin.
And the Leafs. The Leafs being dumb.
Jeez.
Strawman could have been ours the whole damn time.
Well, Strawman's a complicated case.
So this wrestling video, this all comes about because Steve looked at me and said, "Hey, man, so your wedding's on the 27th. And
more importantly,
I just need to know if there's anything planned for the next day because Royal Rumble's on and I'm really excited about it."
It's going to be the first all-women's one, and I'm pretty sure Ronda Rousey's going to be in it. That's the hot rumor.
And to which Jesse said, "I hate wrestling. Wrestling sucks."
And he's wrong.
I don't want to bash wrestling because a lot of people who listen to this show are big wrestling fans.
By bashing wrestling, you're a wrestling fan. Because that's all wrestling fans do.
Say how bad
they do bash wrestling. Yeah, for sure.
But I saw this video.
Didn't we go to Raw together?
Twice. Oh,
you guys did.
We did. You didn't.
I did
I didn't
not
say I hated it.
Oh.
I did not.
I enjoyed going. I won't watch it.
Or was it SmackDown? Because I saw one of each this year. Did we go to both?
Yeah, we went to both together.
Jesus, Adam.
I sat beside you.
I know.
There's a video from Ring of Honor Wrestling.
Okay.
Oh, man, this is the younger. These are like the minor leagues, right?
Sort of. There's a lot of smaller promotions, smaller than WWE, but they're supposed to be very good.
And if you're listening, you can head to our YouTube channel.
Check this out.
I will do my best to describe it well. There is a man in what I can only describe as black underwear. He flipped a man in pink pants. Okay, no, I'm done now. What? That's so stupid.
This is the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
What was that?
They're air kicking each other.
They're drop kicking each other. This is theater of the absurd. No, what's happening right now? Okay. No. What was that? So, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people drop kicked each other at the same time.
And all of them got up.
Effect.
All of them got up. What?
Jesse, like, you can't just be like, look at the shittiest thing of all time. And that's what all of wrestling is.
Like, he goes for a clothesline.
The whole thing.
And the guy flips over it. Look, no, tried to close. Oh, I went for a clothesline too. Nope. Drop kick one.
The whole thing is a botch.
Drop kick two.
Botch.
Every guy gets together and they all do drop kicks together.
Botch. That is the dumbest thing ever. That's
like a bad 90s video game trying to do wrestling.
Wrestling is... hard. It's hard because
Jesse's
all of those guys did
tears.
incredible athletic things, and all of it sucked. All of it sucked. Like, it needs to be cool. It doesn't just need to be athletically impressive. It needs to be cool as well.
So here's the thing,
That was
Jesse.
the opposite of
when you
cool.
upload this show on YouTube, can you upload this clip separately?
Sure.
So at least people can see it right away, or just give a time marker. Time marker works.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'll cut it after.
Like, what the hell was that?
Do you want to see one more time?
No. I'm upset I saw it twice.
You started bashing it 5 seconds in, and then it just gets worse.
It starts off bad and gets so much. But like, what was that? That's the worst part. The arm flip.
It gets funnier.
This is a 3-way tag team match. This is supposed to be the most high-flying, crazy, incredible thing.
I don't know, man. They were all off the ground at the same time.
Not one of them takes a bump. Not one. They all remain unscathed. Also, I'm pretty sure at the very end they made a mistake because this guy is holding up his fist, it looks like, to his teammate.
What's hilarious?
They made a mistake.
When they go for the 6-way...
Do they make a mistake doing a 6-way dropkick, Steve?
Jesse's crying.
Was it a mistake?
Also, technicality, while they were all kicking each other in the air 6 different ways, 2 of the guys were standing beside each other, kicking the wrong direction.
And you just know before the match, they were like, we're going to blow off everyone's fucking socks with this. They're gonna go nuts. I would love to hear the crowd audio of what's going on.
Is there audio?
I need to hear this.
With the elite over to the UK. Nice running scissor. Gets out of it. Look at this. Matt Jackson. This is a takeover. No, pops out of it with a handspring. Sweeps the leg. Flip. Look at that flip counter. Whoa. 2.
Whoa!
Look at this. Teach on it, Page. Now. 6 double drop kick.
Every member of that audience who screamed is lying to themselves.
Yeah,
I know.
that was so bad. That was really bad. Adam and I saw one of the matches of the year when we saw Raw. We saw Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins, when Seth Rollins decided to jump off of all of the Air Canada Center.
That was
Chris Jericho interfered. That was crazy. That was a great match. I think, who did we get to see Jinder Mahal face? Was it Randy Orton?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
That was a pretty decent match. We got to see some good matches.
I thought you were calling him Jinder Mahal face. I'm like, I don't think that's what they call him. It's
What?
Jinder Mahal.
Adam face, Jesse face. I need to get your thoughts on wrestling face.
Anyway, Jesse doesn't like wrestling,
It's
so
not that
hate
I
tweet
don't
him.
like it. I don't understand it.
Okay, here's what I need you to do. Send Jesse the longest responses you possibly can about why he should like wrestling. Make sure they're extremely long.
What are you doing?
Adam, I need you to stall because I'm going to show Jesse another video.
Jesse, Steve's going to show you another video, so I'm supposed to stall. What do you want to talk about?
I want to ask you some questions.
Me, personally?
Yes.
Okay.
First of all, what did you have for breakfast this morning?
I had poached eggs on avocado and toast because I'm a millennial. What are you looking at? What?
You thought that was stupid, Jesse. Just you wait. Oh, here we go.
Are you going to prove to my point more?
That wrestling's stupid? Oh no, he does not do that. Oh no! No! All right, show him.
I'm out of tears.
This is a viral clip. So everyone who, please put this in the video, but if you forget or whatever, everyone, what I typed in to get to this clip was wrestling penis twist on YouTube. Jesse, I just want to show you. All right, so there's a guy with bleach blonde hair and some guy who looks like Captain America with a mustache. And the guy with blonde hair has grabbed Mustache Man by the penis, but Mustache Man is flexing angrily and using his penis strength. Sorry, it's one of those videos where a guy reacts to the video.
Oh my god.
I know, it's stupid. Look at this. No! Have mercy on me. And he flips him with his...
my god!
Did he flips him with his penis?
He flipped the guy with his penis.
Adam, I just... Yeah, wait
I have to see this.
Oh,
wait, the guy with the penis flipped the other guy who was grabbing it.
Yeah.
He didn't.
I thought he threw him around with by the dick.
No.
The guy grabbing the guy's dick got flipped because the guy with the penis swung his dick so hard that it flipped the guy grabbing it.
This is what happens when you don't skip leg day.
Wow.
Which is part of your penis.
And people try to tell me that wrestling is fun to watch.
It is.
I mean, that was kind of funny.
When Triple H doesn't win every time. Look, wrestling has flaws, okay?
I don't understand. When you reach a certain age, I used to watch wrestling.
Yeah, me too.
As a child. Because you see these giant men do these crazy athletic feats, and you appreciate the storylines because you like half believe them. And when you grow up, you realize it's a scripted mess most of the time.
Yeah.
Because the scripts can never go right. No. They can never do what they're supposed to do.
No. So often it's like they have a perfectly, amazingly scripted thing, and then it's like dude breaks his leg mid-match. Dude gets a concussion 3 minutes into the match. Like there's so many stories where it's like so-and-so is like being told orders mid-match, like, you're supposed to do this now, because he forgets everything because he got knocked unconscious.
And then the actual matches, when you know they're fake, when you've been watching wrestling for years.
They're fake, Jesse?
You see how just unrealistic an actual fight that is in comparison to an actual fight. Like if you watch the UFC. And then you watch wrestling.
Holly Holm, what a chin, by the way.
What do you do?
Stood up to Chris Cyborg.
Why is this entertaining? Explain to me. Represent
in as many words as possible, please. Make Jesse read.
Every wrestling fan who's listening to this and yelling at me and telling me that I'm wrong. Tell me why I'm wrong, Steve.
I think you should have asked this question 6 months ago when you were face to face with, even shaking hands with, Eric Young. One of the NXT tag team champions.
Yes. Sure. I shook his hand.
Yeah, but you didn't ask him that, did you? You didn't tell him wrestling sucks, did you?
I never said wrestling sucks. If he had asked me if I enjoy watching wrestling, I would tell him I don't understand it.
Maybe he thinks Tim and Sid's social media sucks. How about that, Jesse? How about that?
See, Steve is interneting right now. He doesn't have a compelling argument. He's just trying to be hurtful.
No, it's ad hominem.
No, it's still fun to watch. What takes some of the fun out of it is
it the penis twisting?
That
or the 6-way air kicking, drop kicking. There's I love how they call it a double drop kick, by the way, because 2 feet are in the air, not one.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure a drop kick is 2 feet in the air, but it's a double drop kick.
Who cares? Who cares?
But there are also
it's a whoopee and a yippee.
And there's things that would never be practical in a fight.
No.
You can't drop kick someone.
Did I tell you about when I went to a martial arts place near my house? I went to one thing, and about 5 minutes in, I'm like, I've made a mistake. But I'm gonna go through the whole hour just to see how far this goes. So we're like, I have a partner, and they're like, all right. So the first thing you're gonna do, don't actually do it, but the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna spit. And I'm like, oh shit, I'm at a self-defense class. I'm not spitting on anyone in a fight. Okay, you're gonna spit, then you're gonna knee in the groin. And then you're gonna, and one of the hits they showed me, and this is gonna be much better on the YouTube version, but
like most of this show right now, everybody's downloading the podcast is so
we're
pissed.
doing too many video stuff.
I'm coming at Adam now. All right, Adam, I got my 2 fists. I'm ready to go. And what's gonna happen is I'm gonna swing around with my right hand, and I'm gonna come down on you like this with all my fingers together, and I'm gonna like hit you in the neck with like my index finger knuckle.
Why?
Great question. Because never doing that in a fight.
If you're going to swing around and hit someone, hit them.
I am punching them.
Yeah.
Full fist in the face.
Yeah.
In the mouth.
Right in the jaw.
nose.
No, you hit them in the jaw.
Yeah.
Right
in
the jaw.
Yeah, that's the mouth. I'm not going to finger flick. The only way that might help is they might stop the attack to be like, did you just flick me with your fingers?
That reminds me of like the Austin Powers, like judo chop, and then he doesn't know what he's doing, but yeah.
Yeah, it was a very strange experience in my life.
Hey, should we do the press conference?
Can I show you one more?
Oh my God. Guys!
The podcast ended 20 minutes ago for most people.
No.
I just got a text from Mrs. Dangle. Almost done?
Do you want to see one more video?
I'm just going to text back yes then. Oh, one of the wrestlers kissed the other, and he looks very upset about it, and he kissed him back, and the other guy looks very upset about it. Are these kiss attack? What the?
They are kiss attacking each other.
This is Japan, right?
Japan wrestling.
Japan has fun with their wrestling, though.
They do.
Japan is okay. This has gone on way too long.
By the way, the hairstyles are fantastic.
So okay, the pecs are getting closer together. So I'm thinking this is just going to be a makeout session pretty soon.
Nope.
No? Oh, wow, he kissed him all the way to the mat.
Yep.
Oh, that kiss hurt.
He knocked him down with his kiss.
This guy's got powerful lips. Oh! And then he gave him a German suplex onto his own head that looked pretty dangerous.
Please.
Oh my God, we got that now?
Get me out of this.
Jesse's crying for the 3rd time this segment. It's just...
Did you know that the Vegas Golden Knights tweeted out your video?
The Steve Dangle press conference.
That was neat. That was pretty cool.
Thought I'd bring that
After
up.
we've criticized their Twitter account twice. That was...
I think fairly.
Yeah. No, that was pretty neat. And then I got tagged in something today for like... I don't know, it was like some promotion for the Vegas Golden Knights, and 6 people were tagged in it, and I was one of them. I was like, what? Why?
You did a video. You mentioned that.
Not like cheering for them. I was very visibly upset in the video because my team lost to theirs.
I think that's why they tweeted it out. No. Yeah, there's fans.
No, I got tagged in something else today that was like promoting, like, come to Vegas or something like that. No, maybe it's because I'm not from Vegas. Or they saw how many Leaf fans poured their money into the city and were like, that's pretty cool. We want more of that.
For Adam and Steve, from $1 Million Bash, who is the first Leaf player you trade away when starting a new GM mode in NHL?
Joffrey Lupul.
Doesn't count.
What?
No, it doesn't count. Nobody would take him. He's no, actually, you probably could.
There should be like a come on mode where like you can just like Nathan Horton's not there and Joffrey Lupul's not there.
Because I'm a nerd and care, I diminish all their skills to like 38, which is the minimum. So I can't like play with them or trade them. And they just sit in the Marlies, scratched.
Nice.
And they don't complain because they suck.
How do you diminish? That's so. I would feel bad. Like
they're not playing.
Yeah, you're right.
Like Horton should be permanently gone. But
is Chris Pronger on the Coyotes in that game?
He ought to be.
Why is Nathan Horton on the Leafs and Chris Pronger isn't? And why was Pavel Datsyuk not on the
Horton's
Canucks?
not on the Leafs
Savard should be in the game.
Oh, he's not? Horton's not?
Is he on the Leafs? Yeah, I think he's on the Leafs. Yeah.
No, he's definitely on the Leafs. I think he's in like the 70s.
Yeah.
Not Roman Polak, because I like guys who can lay the body in the game, although he is very slow, and that's a shame. I don't know. I haven't played BGM in a long time.
You know what? Sucks?
It used to be my favorite.
What sucks is that when the team is good, you don't want to trade anyone. Like, there's guys like okay, I would probably, Freddie Gauthier up over Dominic Moore, I would like. Sure. Yeah, you know what I mean? But like when the Leafs were bad, I wouldn't even bother with be a GM mode in the normal thing. I would just do a fantasy draft.
And I would do fantasy draft, and I don't even care about like depth, like because it just occurred to me. I was just like, yeah, I would have Freddie Gauthier over Dominic Moore, but I wouldn't trade Moore because like I would want the depth. No, when I get an injury in a video game, I'm like, I get like excited that I get to use like some bum on that line because I try to make that bum play really good. Yeah. I always pass the puck to the bum. I want the bum to score. I want to get a hat trick with the guy from the minors.
Dominic Moore a bum?
No, I'm talking about call-ups.
Are you calling Ben Smith and Miro Aaltonen and Freddie Gauthier bums?
Competent bums.
Fair enough.
Yeah, you cough. You cough up.
Cough on that.
Your inner hatred for Miro Aaltonen.
I don't know. I wish my answer was better, but I don't have a great answer for that because honestly, I try. It's weird, but I've had this thing since I was a little kid. I like to keep the team as real as possible, at least when they're good.
Yeah.
At least when they're good.
The correct answer is you immediately trade JVR, Komarov, and Bozak. And you get a haul.
Do you?
Yeah.
What did you get?
Because I have no feelings for my video game characters.
Check out the big brain on Brad.
That's a good reference. Last question. It's January, so we have to do our next Stanley Cup predictions.
Oh! Well, last episode I said Vegas versus Tampa. I do not believe that. Man, still Tampa.
Definitely still Tampa.
In the East. And I think Nashville in the West. I don't remember who I said last time. I think it was Tampa,
I have the
Nashville.
chart up. Somebody linked it.
I'm still saying Tampa,
page.
Nashville, man.
But how many...
You guys are going Tampa, Nashville again?
I'm not going to change it just because, I don't believe that anybody else can.
Who's
beat
beating Vegas?
Nashville is beating Vegas.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Didn't Vegas just shut them out?
Nashville's beating Vegas in the playoffs.
Fucking Vegas. Vegas is nuts.
Vegas is nuts.
Vegas is nuts.
Come on, man.
Okay, I'm going to say...
Don't buy into the hype that much.
No, Tampa, Nashville, but I'm so close to saying Vegas.
You going Tampa, Nashville for 2 months in a row?
Yes, but I'm so close to saying Vegas.
Jesse, what do you say?
Vegas is so crazy.
I'm going to go with...
How is Vegas? How are we having this conversation?
I'm going to go with Winnipeg again.
Oh,
I had Winnipeg last month.
Good pick. Very good pick.
And last month I also had Washington, but
they're still in first.
They are still in first.
Man, I think I'm with you. I think Washington's going to have a great playoff because no one's talking about them. There's no pressure.
Maybe I'll keep it the same. Adams convinced me.
I think they're going to be great. I think Washington's going to go really far.
Washington, Winnipeg. Stanley Cup final.
Washington, third-round team this year.
Whoa.
First time in Ovechkin's career.
Whoa.
Never made it out of the second round.
That's what I think. That's my hot take. My hot prediction. It's not really a take. Okay?
I'm so close to saying Vegas.
Don't be like that.
I'm not going to until February.
Don't be like that then either. Let them play a year.
When Vegas has 80 points by the beginning of February, I might change my mind. I'm just saying.
Then you'll be the guy that picked Vegas.
My birthday is March 12th. Will Vegas have clinched a playoff spot by then?
Yes. Probably. No, well, man, March 12th is early.
Yeah, I know. And I think the answer is yes.
All right.
How many points will they... Jesse's showing me more.
Okay, we're wrapping it up.
Wrestling, that's fake martial arts. It's just one of those kung fu guys who's like...
What YouTube channel is this?
Oh, this is Joe Rogan. He loves
Instagram.
fake martial arts.
Yeah.
That's so dumb.
All right, we're wrapping it up. We love you guys.
Over.
We'll see you next week. I think we're on, Tuesday, Thursday next week?
Whenever the Leafs don't play, we have an episode that day.
There you go. I think we're Tuesday, Thursday next week. We love you guys. Have a good one. Bye.
So ridiculous. He's hurting those people.
Follow the guys on Twitter at Steve_Dangle, at Adam WYLDE, and at Jesse Blake.
The Steve Dangle Podcast. Brought to you by Panago Pizza. Order at panago.com and stuff your face with deliciousness.